Hey everybody, it's me!
You did it.
Of course
Nice.
I did.
Hello, Brooke.
I'm not afraid.
Hello, Jeremy.
Hi.
I got guts.
Ooh,
Everybody
Guts.
got guts.
I used to. Did you watch that show, Guts?
No.
When you were a kid, it was a Nickelodeon show. Am I too old?
Yeah,
like,
that's before our time.
It was.
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
It was. It was
I
kind
feel
of
like it was like
kind of like that. It was before Legends of the Hidden Temple. At some time, they were like one show after the other.
yeah.
But Guts was like, think of it like a kid's version of American Gladiators, but there was no one really going against them. The cool thing was there was a mountain at the end. It was the last thing they had to do. They literally had to race up a mountain, and there would be falling boulders, and they had to not be hit by it. But
Wow.
it was like
Real boulders?
It's like Hunger
gonna
Games
die.
style. Like a kid looks up
That-
and his head gets like.
Sounds so freaking familiar.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That sounds so familiar, but it's the show I'm thinking of is not called Guts, but it's like so similar to that. Anyway, well, whatever.
Anyways, yeah.
Well, whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You know, drop it in the comments. What's that show that's like Guts, but it's not Guts, but it might also be a Nickelodeon show that's like Guts?
That is an intense question.
Answer me that.
Riddle me this. I'm like trying to like type that sentence out in my head. That was intense, dude. Hey, should we do a clap?
Okay.
Let's clap in. You
Yeah.
want to clap us in?
Okay, I can count.
Okay.
I'm good
I
at
hope you can
counting.
count. Can you count in German?
I don't know 3. Drei. Drei.
Drei.
Huh?
Just count.
We're gonna work on.
Eins,
We're gonna work on this.
zwei, 3.
Whoa!
Whoa!
What happened to Brooke? Hey, this is.
Guys, I transitioned.
We weren't supposed to do that joke.
Yes.
John Roman, it is so nice,
Hey, that's how you start a pod.
so nice to have you on the show.
Guys,
awesome.
I'm not Brooke. I'm a man, but I love all people.
That's good to know. That's good to know. You don't need to
I'm
be
not
that
Brooke.
close to the mic, actually.
I'm now
I know.
Brock.
Guys, this is our friend John Roman. Hello, John Roman.
Welcome. Thank you for having me here.
John is our very first guest on the Gab Addicts show. Welcome, John.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Do I look at you guys or like the camera?
You can look at us. You can look at the camera if you want. I tend to look at everyone else and not the camera because
Okay.
if I want to look at the camera, I'm gonna do this the whole time.
I
So
only.
yeah, so just
Okay.
be
Yeah.
normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
This
normal.
is my first podcast.
Nice.
I'm very nervous. It's also my first time having Coke Zero.
Oh, dude.
No way. That is
Yeah,
just not
yeah,
your
yeah,
first
yeah.
time.
You guys lied to me. Does not taste like Coke.
What?
It does not.
Well, you know what? You can suck it.
It's like it's like if the Coke went to the dentist. It's got that dentist taste.
Ooh, I love it. I love
Here's
that
the thing.
dentist taste.
Here's the thing. It's like I said earlier. Right now, you're addicted to one substance. It's called sugar. But give it some time because soon you'll be addicted to a far better, more superior substance called aspartame.
Sugar is so much cheaper.
Also, so bad for you.
So good. It's really, really good. And then you'll start to crave that. So, and then you'll be like, oh man, all I want is
Eventually.
more aspartame.
I want it now.
Good, good.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if you guys can tell, but this one's going to be a wild one because of this guy. Never know where it's going to go when it's us four. Brooke is behind the camera tonight, you guys, or tonight, wherever you're watching this or listening to this. If you don't know, John Roman is our fellow musician friend. He is a drummer.
I do that.
vocalist.
Sometimes do
I was
that.
just listening to his band's album, and I'm pretty sure that was you doing the screaming, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, lots of
Nice,
screaming.
nice.
I'm a
yeah.
loud boy.
Nice.
Yeah.
I would say guitarist too.
I can fake it. Actually,
You play? Yeah.
my very first time playing guitar outside of my bedroom was a kids event. Yeah, with you guys.
And you know what I did to John? I said, "Hey, you got to play these lead parts."
Because Jeremy, were you sick?
Jeremy was sick that event, and I had to play bass. Yeah, you dropped off a
Oh,
bass.
is that because
Yeah,
you
yeah.
played bass? Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Jeremy,
Was I
that
sick?
The best stage. You missed it.
that was a
It
cool
was
stage.
insane. It was insane.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this. We're gonna talk about music today.
Yeah,
That's
we're talking music, all things music. you
yeah.
guys.
So I have now done touring. That's been wild. I have been in a few studios, recorded some stuff, and the single most I've been on the Rose Parade. Did marching
really?
band. Yeah.
Oh, you did.
Oh.
Yeah, and the
You
single
would,
most
like-
daunting music thing I've ever done was play guitar for that event.
Yeah.
Because I'm not actually a guitarist.
Yeah.
I understand.
I remember
totally understand the fear.
that. I remember that day, we were jumping around for a church event, which I love rocking out for church
Oh
events.
yeah.
My strap broke for the bass, and so I went full Blink 182, and when the
Heck
bass
yeah.
dropped down to my knees, and so I had to take a good power stance, and I couldn't reach the bass, so I had to use a pick. I ended up
Yeah.
pulling a pick out, and I just went like that, and I looked at John, and I was like, I mouthed it. I was like, my strap broke, and then I remember John looking at me. He goes, I don't know what I'm doing. It was a good event.
Still to this day, that was
Nice.
what 6-7 years ago.
I would, yeah, almost like
We were dating, but we weren't married.
no, we were not.
You weren't
married.
even dating then.
We were dating in secret.
Yeah.
We were secret
Yeah.
lovers.
Done that a
Yeah,
few
yeah.
times where we didn't tell anyone.
Shh, no one knows.
I like
Wait, you
how
guys- you
we
guys are
weren't gonna
dating?
give Brooke a mic, and now she's
Yeah, now-
completely
Yeah.
involved in this podcast.
Yeah. It's
She's
because
talked more than I have so far.
look, just because I'm here,
You know what?
we're not gonna silence the female voice.
Wow.
Keep going.
Wow.
Keep going.
Even though the female voice volunteered to be silenced.
No, I know, but I like.
yeah, you don't sound very sick.
Is my mic on?
Your mic is on.
Okay. I love John Roman so much.
Probably more than me.
Probably one of my most favorite drummers that I've ever worked with. And we used to be neighbors and we didn't even know.
For years, yeah.
Years. And
Yeah.
what did I find out like a couple days before you moved?
Mm-hmm.
And
How awkward.
crazy. We were literally like 2 doors down from
Some kind of friendship you guys had.
Well,
That's
Yeah.
that's in the past. That's in the past. We're friends now.
we became friends shortly before he moved.
I actually didn't know John played a full drum set because I met him and you were playing the snare. It was at a church event.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I think Nathan was on the what is that, bass? Is that what,
No. He was on snare. I was on quads.
Oh, you were on quads.
Oh wait,
yeah.
wait. Was this for the Christmas thing or for
No, it was for
the like remnant thing?
it was for a remnant thing.
Yeah,
and
so I was
you
on
guys
quads.
I think they did a cover of Radioactive and you guys came out.
Sure.
Radioactive.
I got the bonus word.
Brooke
Sorry.
Brooke is playing lotto behind the freaking camera, you guys.
And she is winning.
She's supposed to be manning the camera.
It's recording very well.
Okay, cool. She's over here trying to win $1 billion for us. I think let's get down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
Let's get down to the nitty gritty.
Wait. What do you first remember?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
About meeting you?
Yeah.
Uh,
I have a story in mind.
well, I remember the first time I remember very clearly. What happened is that I met you in a hotel room, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it was in a hotel room.
It might not have been met, but like we met at an event and then we stayed at a hotel.
I was gonna say, can you start it off with we met at the event, not in a hotel room?
Yeah.
No, I know what I said. I know what I said. Yeah, so we met at the hotel room.
Yeah,
Probably. But anyway, maybe we didn't. But then we hung out and with Nathan as well was there. I think he came later, actually. He came the next day?
Not for that event. Him and I were at NAMM.
Oh,
and
okay.
we drove to the event together.
Oh, together.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I distinctly remember us hopping in my car for some sort of fast food run. We needed some food, and then you guys are going through all my CDs because it's a 2002 Montero, and all I had was CDs.
Dude, yes!
And you're like, you like FM Static?
Freaking, we were...
I was like, I love FM Static.
Yeah. That was like 2014, and Nate and I were on one for FM Static.
And it's
Oh my
like
gosh.
so FM Static is like a
Static.
really obscure, or fairly obscure, like Christian sort of pop punk band.
Yeah.
And I to this day never meet anyone who loves FM Static.
Dude.
So that immediately stuck out to me. I was like, I can't believe I found these people.
Shout out,
Definitely, maybe. One day you
Oh my
might.
gosh.
One day you might.
shout out Trevor McNaven,
Oh,
Yeah.
1,000 Foot
TFK,
Crutch.
1,000 Foot Crutch.
That's his more well-known band
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, which I don't even like.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I think their first
I
two
like-
CDs. Oh, the first 3 CDs were my favorite.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I'm down with it up until semi recently actually. The what's the what was the one after we already talked? We were going to talk about music anyway, so this
Yeah.
is fine.
Yeah, this is the
What's that
podcast
one
to do.
after Welcome to the Masquerade? There's like War
No
of
one
Change.
knows.
War of Change is on there.
War of Change,
That-
I think.
yeah.
I think that's the name of the album, right?
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I mean, the songs.
Okay,
they
okay.
start,
I
they start
think
kind of
they
sounding
hit
the
their
same.
peak when they made songs for WWE, and WWE
Yeah, well,
was
that's
using
on,
the
but
music.
that on?
that's like cookie cutter.
Welcome to the
though. Yeah,
SmackDown, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
But there's good songs on that album, though. There's good songs on that one.
Maybe John of 2022 would agree with you if I actually like take the time to go listen to
Oh,
it.
wait, is that
2022.
the John I'm speaking to right now?
Yeah. Way
Interesting.
more open-minded, way more
okay.
acceptable of weird
Yeah.
things. I love it.
Yeah.
But back then, super closed-minded.
2014?
The only
Oh, okay.
music that I respected was like mid-2000s Tooth and Nail Records post-hardcore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Almost everything outside, and that like 1,000 Foot Crutch was a part of that, but they
Yeah.
were
Right.
on like the too clean, too polished side.
Right,
So I
right,
needed
right.
Under Oath,
They
As Cities
definitely
Burn.
have
yeah.
never been like as heavy as those bands that you're
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
about.
But now, having just all this life experience, I think I would probably dig it now.
Life experience.
Yeah.
yeah.
Life experience does stuff to you guys.
Yeah, but the moral of the story is, we went, spent the night, and hit it off really well. And then we were on some gig. It was a kids con.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't a convention.
If you guys
was it?
don't know yet, we all play music for kids. We're like the Wiggles.
Yeah, we're kind of like if you've ever seen
Minority Wiggles.
or Minority Wiggles.
All bootleg.
What's another good one? Aquabats are kind of
Aquabats, yeah.
Yeah, Aquabats for Jesus.
Aquabats
kids.
for Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've done a lot of kids conventions, kids camps. We've done weekend long ones. We've done week long ones.
Yeah.
We've done conventions all over SoCal. And in this particular gig, we were in Covina, I think,
Yeah.
and we had a hotel room for the night, and it was time to share a bed with with my new best friend John Roman.
So I'll say this first, because we brought him up earlier. We brought up Nate. That's
Yeah.
one of my best friends. He's
Yeah,
my
shout out-
bandmate.
shout out Nate.
Yeah, I love him.
Who's also in the band that John is in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love him to death. He is very particular.
Yes.
I love that now about him, but I loved it a little bit less back then. But just like one of the most genuine, like, oh man, I don't want the whole podcast to be about our friendship, but I love him. I miss him.
Are you tearing up?
No. I just we had an experience where I was like,
It was an out of
you
body.
are my friend.
It's an out of body experience.
Yeah, like you're always going to be my friend.
Yeah.
So I put up with a lot of his weirdness. And he puts up with a lot of my weirdness.
Yeah.
That night, he was very weird. He was very weird. So I'm going to hijack the story for a second.
Yeah, please.
It was the four of us,
Yeah.
us three and Nate, and
Squished into
a 2-bedroom
two
hotel.
bedroom.
Yeah.
Not
Two
two bedroom.
bed, one
two
bedroom.
bed hotel.
Yeah, one
Yeah.
bedroom,
Yeah.
2 beds.
1 room, 2 beds, right?
One bathroom.
Yeah.
Nate didn't want to sleep with people.
Yeah, he didn't want to share a bed
Right,
because I
right.
remember asking him, "Hey, you can share the bed with me, dude. We can put pillows in between.
Yeah.
We don't have to like."
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he could have shared the bed with you,
Right.
so
he
it wouldn't
didn't
be
want to.
strangers.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
he
you guys
didn't
are
want
friends. Okay, yeah.
So
He
that
slept
put,
on the floor.
Yeah, he slept. So there was your bed, there was our bed, and he was just right in the middle on the floor.
Yeah,
I think you had offered to like split the bed with me or with Jeremy, but we were vibing super hard.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we were like, we're gonna sleep in the same bed.
you guys had a stepbrothers moment. Did we just become best friends?
Yeah. So we needed to like establish it by sharing a bed. And that's
Yeah.
what happens next. Yeah.
Someone's shirt came off. Was it mine? It was mine.
No.
It was yours. Your shirt came off.
That's not the only thing, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
We woke up early because we had to get ready for the gig.
Yeah.
I strictly remember Jeremy being on one side of the bed, and we woke up, and you were on the other side because John ended up on the bed on the side that you fell asleep on.
Oh.
And John went, "How did I get on this side?" And then he went, "Where's my shirt?"
And to this day, that shirt has disappeared.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I remember in the middle of the night. I remember waking up, and I think I heard one of you go, "That's not my belly button."
Straight up, I can't confirm that one.
Yeah. Wild times. And it's not the only time we've shared a bed since then. In fact, there was a separate gig, maybe a year or two later, I think it was 2 years later, in 2017, where the three of us actually had shared a bed. And there's a really great selfie.
Can one of you guys send me
Yes.
that picture so we can post that up?
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
We'll roll it right now.
Now,
Perfect. Yeah, it'll be
And
like right here.
if you're seeing it, what you're seeing is 2 years later, us after that incident, just sharing a bed and
3 dudes on one bed.
And it was
Just
probably
I think in the picture you guys are like laughing, and I'm just
Yeah.
I'm there on the other side of the bed like this. I'm like,
not happy.
like,
Yeah.
I mean, when we're on one, that tends to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. When it's a serious activity, you're always like, guys, let's go.
Yeah, I'm the serious
and we're
one.
just like,
yeah.
so that was probably a picture where you were like,
Yeah.
we should get to bed.
yeah,
We should go to
probably,
sleep.
yeah.
And we're over here goofing off.
I'm just goofing.
Yeah, I'm such an old person. I need
Still.
to be in bed. Still, yeah. I've turned into that old Asian man where I walk behind with my arms behind my back. I look like
Can you give me an old Asian accent real quick?
hero.
That's so good.
Nice.
That's so good.
There
Yeah.
you go. Only for John.
You have a old Filipino man.
Yeah.
accent, though.
Filipino is Asian,
Famous.
unless I'm wrong.
What are you doing?
There's,
a real
that's
old
it, right?
Yeah.
It's actually how my grandpa sounded.
Oh goodness.
John, you're in a band. What's your band called?
I'm in a band called We Never Settle.
Wavelengths.
Square wave files.
Let's do that again. John, before, let's try not to ruin our listeners'
sorry.
ear.
Yeah, I get really really excited to
Yeah.
say that I am in a band with my best friends called
Yeah.
We Never Settled.
We never settled.
I was your best friend.
No. I love you so much, but no,
okay, tell
no.
me something.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I ask, why did you guys go with that name, We Never Settled?
Because this band goes back to like 2014.
Right. Right.
Me and the lead guitarist Joe another best friend, brother.
Shout out Joe.
I love him so much.
Hello, Joe.
We were doing music and we kept bringing people in to like try to make a band. And at some point, Nate locked in, and so it was us three for a while. And then we had a lead singer for a minute who didn't really contribute much, but I was always so geeky about all this music stuff. So every week I'd come in with a new band name because I'm thinking like, what's a name that's not relevant to like the moment? What's something that 10 years from now you can still say? And it's like, that doesn't mean pop punk band. That doesn't mean metalcore band. Mm-hmm. Nothing ever stuck. Yeah. And so like 3-4 months of like every week coming in with a different band name. And one day our singer was just like, what the hell? Like, why do we keep changing the band name? Why don't we ever settle? Or why don't we settle? Why can't we settle? Something like that.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
And I just, in that moment, was like, aha.
That's it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because we never settled.
That's pretty cool.
So the band name is technically no band name.
Yeah. But you never settled.
Yeah. So the acronym for it is Weenus. We call ourselves Weenus.
Nice.
And then we actually call our following Wieners.
Wieners.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah,
So expect merch one day with just hot dogs everywhere.
How great! That's like such a beautiful. That's such a beautiful like outcome,
right?
And it actually works so perfectly.
It's I think interesting and cool, and like what I actually am intentionally shaping is I want to write serious stuff. Our first record is very serious.
I was just listening to it earlier when I was working out.
It's heavy.
I'm not
it's heavy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, we're goofball dudes. So I want, like, not necessarily a balance, but, like, just because what we're writing is heavy, we still want our personality to shine.
Yeah.
So our lead singer, Johnny, he's a great guy. I actually found him on the internet, and he just perfectly completed the lineup. He'll post, like, just funny videos.
Yeah.
And, like... we want to do the serious. We have some really cool serious stuff happening. But at the same time, we want to be humans. So we just post us being goofballs. We'll call our fans wieners or friends wieners. Yeah. Like, I don't like the word
Did you guys have an album release party?
No. Dude, we're nobody.
I think if you guys end up ever having an album release party, it should be called a sausage party.
A sausage fest.
Sausage fest.
Yeah.
Now, one of the interesting things about your band is that it is like it's funny that you mentioned because you found your singer on the internet, and you actually have done entire performances from where people are actually like recording in different states and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Some of your videos are really cool. So
yeah.
I think that's kind of interesting if you want to touch on that. How does it work, like having a band that is got a very cohesive sound when not everyone's all at the same place?
Dude, yeah. So first and foremost, shout out God. No, we're not a Christian band, but I am, and most of us grew up in Southern Cal. Well, we all grew up in Southern California, but most of us grew up playing music together in like worship bands. You know, Nate did this thing.
Right.
I did a lot of things with Nate and Joe to where like, just as musicians, we're really tight.
Yeah.
And then as close friends, we can understand each other. So this first record, I'll say a good chunk of it was my vision to where I was like, I have this sound in my head.
Yeah.
You guys have the talent. Get this out of my head. And then we did like 6-7 years of being just an instrumental band.
Like a long time.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So we like half of the songs on the record actually come from that era. Like
You guys were like explosions in the sky.
Yeah. But there was a point where we were getting ready to put out music, and I just stopped and was like, they have a story to tell. We can't do this.
Yeah.
So we just kept writing. Eventually, we got our rhythm guitarist Adam on board. Did a lot of like worship gigs with him. So like the four of us as musicians were just really on it.
Yeah.
And then I met my singer, another brother, Adam, also another brother. Like all five of us, I think, are just really close now. As close as you can be without like ripping each other's heads off.
Yeah.
But Johnny and I have very similar taste in music. A huge love and respect for like mid 2000s Tooth and Nail records, post hardcore music.
Yeah.
So it was very, very easy to like explain, this is the idea I have. What can you do about it? Or like, I'll write some lyrics, or he'll write some lyrics. Like we've had long conversations over the phone of just like, let's hash this out and figure it out. So it takes a lot of patience. I talk a lot. I am very strong-minded. So I'm learning to be like, hey, this next record, it's not my baby anymore. Like, let's hear your guys' voices.
Everyone's a baby.
Yeah. Which, like,
Everyone's.
It's all their baby. I'm not going to say any one person put in more work, right?
Yeah.
We all put in a crap ton of work. But I was definitely the vision guy. So it was very easy to throw a lot of ideas and be like, this works, this doesn't work.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like the filter for that. I think now the stuff we're writing is more like, are we all on board?
Did you ever take any like inspirations from bands that you like grew up listening to?
Oh, dude, the whole record, like every song has at least like 5 references.
I would say your lead singer's voice kind of at some parts kind of reminded me of Matthew Thiessen's voice from Reliant K.
Dude, yes, I love Reliant K.
And then I heard a little bit of Emery. I think it's with some of the way some of the chord structures that you guys did and the way you guys were kind of like like just with the lead parts, it was very Emery-esque.
All of their albums are just massive influential. I'm actually like kind of homies with them now, so it's really weird.
We're gonna touch on that a little later. Yeah,
but when I said like first and foremost, shout out God, like I should have also said like shout out Emery, because they have a podcast, or they had a podcast called Bad Christian.
Bad Christian, yeah.
They just shifted it to be something else, but it's the same thing.
Yeah.
They did a lot of music things there. They did a lot of like, we're going to show you exactly how we do this. So they set up the whole like, at least for me, they showed me how to record an album from your bedroom, from your house. If you're in different states, how to do that. So me being super into that, Nate being super nerdy, also following along and being super into that, we got a pretty good understanding of like, just as an instrumental band, we can write music in different states. Because right at the beginning of COVID, Nathan moved to Idaho.
Right.
So we figured that out, and it was like, we can still write music like this. That's not too crazy. And then like a month or 2 into COVID, we found our singer, Johnny. So we're already used to working on music. Every Monday night we try to just sit in front of our computers, talk through things, have some action items, do things throughout the week. And then we get on board. Right now we have something really cool that's about to come out. Since we live in different states, we can't really play shows that often. Right. And that has been very painful. So the songs that we recorded, dang, there's so much to talk about. We're going to put out a live version of the album, like really soon.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's the only time that we've played the songs live except for in demo form while we were recording. Yeah. So you're going to get that really soon. Probably.
That'll be pretty cool because it'll be a lot of familiar stuff if you listen to the album, but it'll sound so different because it's live.
Yeah.
That'll be really cool.
Yeah. There's some intentional, like, different drum parts of, like, this is how I recorded it. But when I recorded the album, I recorded drums. We weren't going to have any screams. Like, I scream in my bedroom.
Now you got to be like Aaron Gillespie. And you're going to have the mic up there.
Also, freaking shout out Aaron Gillespie. I would not be here. Not be here as a drummer, as the kind of person that I am, the kind of, like, what I think is passionate playing that I have would not exist without his influence, first and foremost. Like, this guy is insane. And anyone can say that. Anyone's going to be right. he just also happens to be like my number one drummer.
When I met him, I was kind of starstruck, and I was like, "Whoa, he's from Under Oath."
Yeah.
You know. And then this girl pushed me, and he looked at me and he goes, "Dude, you just got pushed by that chick," and walked away. And I got so red. I was like,
Yeah.
"Whoa."
Yeah. So
The guy from Under Oath.
Dude, I've met him like 10 times, and at least half of those times he was a total D-bag.
Yeah.
But like, and he's actually talked about it on like podcasts, and like it was where he was at in life. And, you know, I still cared enough to keep meeting him live. So like 2 months ago, Emery did a Tooth and Nail Records tour with like Aaron Gillespie and a few other guys. And I got to have a lot of one-on-one time with Aaron.
Yeah.
Just nerded out with him. I was like, you're stuck with me. So I'm just going to tell you everything I want to say.
Yeah.
I love you so much. You influence me so much. I'm not blowing smoke up your butt. Like, I love you, Aaron. You need to know this. You need to know this.
Yeah.
And he's just like, okay. And on the last night, I brought in a bunch of Under Oath and Emery records. Mm-hmm. And so I had him sign some of my favorite records. But I had this white...
He wasn't like, geez, this guy.
He was nice still.
Very cool.
Yeah.
This whole time, like, I'm at least an hour a night I'm spending with him, and he's not like, leave me alone. He was still engaged in the conversation.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, you can tell me to like
I'm
piss off
gonna
whenever.
make you like
Right.
me.
Yeah.
I did the exact opposite. I was like, I don't want to make you like me. I want to make you remember me.
Oh, there you go. Ooh.
So I had this white, like special edition Under Oath Rebirth vinyl package from when they got back together. Mm-hmm. He saw that and he's like, "Oh, you want me to sign that?" And I'm like, "I don't think so. Probably not. I'll find you later if
that's
I do."
That's how you humble a musician.
Oh, it gets worse. It gets worse. It gets so much worse. He's like, "That's weird. Okay, whatever." And I'm a big fan of Emery.
Yeah.
I listen to their podcasts very frequently.
I love Emery.
Yeah, they're
One
so
of my
good.
favorites.
They're so good. There's like just their work ethic is a whole podcast episode in of itself. But they were there. I was hanging out with them. Their bassist singer actually was like John Roman from like Instagram and Facebook and stuff. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I know you. And I'm like, that's so weird.
Whoa, that's cool.
But I got to talk to him for a while, and like this chick, like I met that night, and she was like flirting with me, but like really weird. Like she was really drunk, and I like am sometimes awkward. So I'm just like, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
And this was all in front of
Sometimes awkward.
this was all in front of like their tour van. So he's watching me like, what's happening with this girl, and he's laughing at me the whole time, and I'm just like, this is what it is now. But when all that ended on the last night with that Under Oath record, I am hanging out with the drummer of Watashiwa, Teddy. He's a great guy. He's the guy that got me into the show. Yeah,
saw Watashiwa on Monday.
yeah. I was like getting to know him, hang out, and he was like, "Oh yeah, just stick around, hang out." He takes me to the back where all the bands are, and there's Aaron and Emery again. Mm-hmm. And I see the Emery guys, and I'm like, "Hey guys, I know on the podcast you like dog on Under Oath all the time. You dog on Aaron all the time. How funny would it be if you signed this rare Under Oath record?"
Oh, gosh.
And immediately, like, Toby is just like, this has to happen. This has to happen so bad. So he helps me find the rest of the Emery guys, and they're all signing my record. And I think when their synth screamer guy, Josh.
The guy who looks like he played Jesus.
Yeah. Joshua R. Head. Wonderful man. While he's signing it, Aaron's like, wait, what is that? And he sees that record, and he's just like, are you freaking kidding me? Do you know how much that thing costs? You could buy a car with that. What are you doing? And you're just throwing it away. What's wrong with you? And in that moment, I was just like, you're not going to forget me.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished.
I did it.
And
he probably has
And
already.
you know what?
but-
We're probably going to remind him. I'll probably cut this up and post it on TikTok and tag them.
Yeah.
Dude,
you
yes.
should. You definitely should.
Yes.
Say my name.
But yeah.
So you kind of hinted at it. You've been backstage at shows.
A ton.
You've been on tour, right?
Yes, I have.
But not with your band. We Never Settled. What band did you go on tour with?
Yeah, not yet. At least. We'll see
One
if
day.
we'll see if we can make money doing it.
One
It's not
day.
easy.
Yeah.
Modest Yahoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a jam.
So during COVID, I was just like, I've always wanted to like put out drum covers.
Yeah.
And during COVID, I was just like, why not? I had actually, I set up my bedroom to record drums for my band's album. So Nate helped me set all that up. We went up to Idaho to record drums there.
Yeah.
And when we finished everything, I was like, dude, that sounds like butt. Let me do it from home.
Whoa.
So I re-recorded all the drums, got new gear, just a lot of fun experiments. Like definitely did not record drums the way you're supposed to record drums, but I think that makes them feel a little bit more authentic.
Yeah.
So I had all this drum stuff there and was like, I really want to do drum covers. And I have everything here and I have all the time, you know, we're not working, we're not going out. I freaking, instead of setting all the drum stuff up to record like high quality drum covers, I said, I have a freaking computer in my pocket.
Yeah.
I bought a stand and I just started recording a bunch of drum covers from my phone.
Yeah.
All the audio you hear, all the video is just from an iPhone 11 and it's sick. Like there's no excuse at all to like not chase your dream doing music stuff.
Oh, fun fact: we actually record this show and podcast
This is an iPhone podcast.
on an iPhone. Yeah.
And it looks great. Like it's
Thanks,
sick.
John.
It's sick.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously invest in lighting, you know.
Yeah,
like,
well, this is gonna change pretty soon. We're gonna put some stuff up there, and yeah,
yeah. Like the more you care,
we're just poor.
the more you care, the more you're gonna dig into it.
Yeah.
So I would just be like, I'm gonna do drum covers because I want to. Like I remember just being 12, 13 years old watching videos all day. And I was like, why can't I do that now? So I did that, and I think like 10 videos in, I actually got one of the very first drummer I saw live from a band called Sleep for Sleepers. They were a Face Down band. I don't know if you've ever heard of
Yeah,
them.
I remember Face Down. Yeah.
He commented on one of my videos, and he was like, "That's so sick." And I'm like, "Dude, do you know who the heck you are?"
Yeah.
And his name's Chad, and
Chad.
I freaking love him. I just spent a couple days with him a couple days ago.
Nice.
And
Shout out Chad.
yeah, shout out Chad. He is now doing other music things, not Sleep for Sleepers, but he is in a band called Dead American. He started a band called Dead American with Cove Reaper from Seosin. So just like all these connections of like my
Is that
childhood.
him from Seosin?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I never.
So
realized that.
he's like a bro
Seosin
now.
is freaking epic.
Yeah, straight up. Just saw Seosin and Dead American 2 nights in a row
Saw your
the other
Instagram,
night. Yeah. So they're the bros. He commented on some stuff. I was like, dude, do you know who the heck you are? Like, you're the reason I'm drumming live. Like, of my like top 10 drummers, he's up there, and he's just like commenting on my stuff. Like, you don't belong here. Shoo, get out. But we were also in the middle of recording my band's record, so I asked him a bunch of questions like, hey, you're doing things with Dead. Like, how are you doing it? Do you have producer friends? You know, can you give me the homie hookup? Something, anything, you know, point me in the right direction.
Yeah.
And he gave me the information of one of their managers who also does audio. And he's like, yeah, just hit him up and then he'll have you come out, have like an hour meeting to figure things out and then go from there. So I set all that up. I get to the dude's house. I knock on the door. He has like an outside studio room. And freaking Joey from The Used opens the door.
Whoa.
The lead guitarist. Yeah. And I'm like,
How
I wasn't
crazy.
prepared for this.
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
We are taking a trip down emo lane here, you
Oh, yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Seosin, The Used,
My bread and butter, dude.
all my high school
yeah.
music.
Yeah. And we're not done there.
Played the well, they were on the When We Were Young fest.
Yeah.
lineup.
Yeah. So he opened the door. I'm like starstruck in the moment. I'm like, oh, dude, what the heck? But we ended up hanging out for like 4 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. And I showed him like everything we had, Weenus related. And he's like, yo, this is sick. We could do something. We ended up deciding to self-produce. But that night, I showed him some like live videos. Mm-hmm. And he was like, dude, you're really sick. Do you like play to a click? I was like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Church
You
music.
have to play
Church
to a
music,
click,
bro.
yeah.
Come on. I'm CCM all the way. And
Contemporary Christian music, you guys. That's what CCM is.
right. You don't need to know. You don't need to know.
Unless you do know.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was like, yeah, that's sick. Dad needs a drummer. If you're interested, I can shoot them your info.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I'm more than interested.
Sure.
And I leave his place and like immediately, like it's midnight and I'm texting Chad and I'm like, you need a drummer? I'm your guy.
Yeah.
Like, let me be your guy. And I like, within a week, he asked me to record like one drum cover. And within a week, I did 3.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to give you everything I have.
Very cool.
That was sick. There's lots I could come back for more stories.
Yeah.
So you went on tour with Dead American.
Yeah.
Who else was on that tour with you?
On the first tour we did was, do you want the whole bands or like the main?
Give us like the main band.
Yeah, the main band was Red Jumpsuit Apparatus.
Red Jumpsuit Apparatus.
Yeah, they're the
For
homies
you,
now.
For all you other emo fans out there.
Yeah, we're staying hella emo.
Yeah. Guardian Angel all the way.
Dude. Oh my god, yes. Yes.
Is it Face Down? Mm-hmm. They just came out with the orchestral version.
They
of
did.
It.
They
so
did.
good, so good.
Yeah, they're doing things.
I watched it the other night while I was pooping, and I was like, "Why did they just re-release
It
the
made
song?"
your poop better, right?
Dude, it felt like I was in heaven.
Dude. Yeah. So I'm actually like I think like on the road it's a little bit different. You know, you kind of got to not be a super fan. And it's really weird because I'm pretty authentic to myself. You know, so I'm like, if I am freaking out, I'm going to freak out.
Yeah.
But when you're getting paid to do things or when it's a career thing, like everyone's just got to be cool with each other.
Yeah.
So
Well, you're there to do a job too.
Right,
you know,
right.
Like, like that's a big part of it too. Is like you're having the time of your life, but also like
Correct.
I'm here to like kill it at what I'm.
Did you guys sleep on a bus or were you guys in
No,
a van?
dude, we were in a van. We
alright.
were in a pretty small van with 6 people in it. Very tight quarters.
Very nice.
Very, very cold. Do not. Yeah, I stopped myself there.
Thank you.
Do not tour in the winter.
Oh, I
That's
bet.
hell.
Yeah. Yikes.
Did you guys sleep in the van?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yikes.
Yeah, I think there was one night it was like -10 or -15. We just woke up and like all the windows were caked in our sweat, but it was frozen.
Right.
It was
Gross.
Did your
layers,
van break
yeah.
down?
Sort of.
Okay, because this is like a common thing I always hear about people, like bands that are touring on in a van. They're sleeping in their van, and then at some point, if the van's rented or if it's someone else, like it breaks down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like those are the quintessential. Like you sleep in your van, you freeze in your van, and it breaks down. Those are like the things that need to
So
happen.
our experience, the van itself necessarily didn't break down, but it was an experience. We were on our way up to Montana,
Yeah.
and we hit some black
Montana.
ice.
Ooh.
I was laying in the very back of the van.
I hear Black Ice with any rock group, and it's already scary.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
It was so close to being safe. But I'm in the very back, no seatbelt, just laying down, like, just comfy. Like, I was trying to take a nap or something. And all of a sudden, we're just swerving like crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the window, and I can see the trailer just like all this, it's picking up all this snow, and it's literally like turning the opposite way of the van.
Yeah.
no.
Like, not just swerving, but like full on flipping. So I'm like, oh crap, I'm about to die.
It's another Cliff Burton there.
Yeah.
But Cove was driving, and he has that life experience, and he saved our butts.
Yeah.
He got us corrected, and then out of nowhere, like a semi drove by, like really, really fast, And so even though he corrected it, he still had to like swerve really hard to avoid hitting the semi, and we just flew off the freeway.
Wow.
But it was like it was all snowed out.
Yeah.
So like that kind of broke the
You
fall.
guys had some cushion.
nice.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Terrifying.
There's some pictures out there of it, and it's like, oh, that happened for real.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
But everyone's fine. I think we needed like a new axle or something, so we missed that show.
Okay.
But we found like a gas station with like a ton of fried food.
Yeah. Nice.
That was gonna be my next question. What's life like on tour? Like what do you eat all day? You know,
Dude, whatever you
lots
can
of
afford.
McDonald's.
Whatever you can afford. I definitely, on the first tour I did with Dead American, I can definitely say that their bassist, Josh,
Yeah.
he is such a sweet guy. He pretends to be like this, like, don't talk to me. I don't know you. And I'm like, shut up. You love me. I love you. Come here.
Such an aggressive love.
Yeah. But like such a sweet guy, because like I thought that I would have to like be like really calculated with money and like food and whatever, but pretty often, like every 2-3 days, he'd just be like, yeah, let's go get some food. Like,
Yeah.
and he'd like, we'd go somewhere like not cheap, and he'd be like, oh, I got you, don't worry.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Had
That's
no
always
reason
nice.
to.
Really nice.
I'm the new guy in the band,
That's a friend right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
a friend.
so he's great.
Did he treat you to Korean barbecue?
No, he hasn't yet.
I don't know if that's a friend anymore. I'm joking.
Ooh.
I'm joking.
Got to do that squid test.
Yeah, that's a good test.
That's cool, man. What was what's your highlight show with Dead American?
Dude.
It was cool, like going on Instagram and looking at your stories, and it's John on the stage, like screaming with like red jumpsuit apparatus and stuff.
Those
and
were
so-
really cool moments. Yeah.
Yeah.
Still to this day, stuff like that's happening. Like I don't even think I'm screaming right. I know when I was like 14,
Does it
15,
hurt?
not really.
Okay.
That's though I'm doing something right.
Okay.
But when I was like 14, 15, I tried learning how to scream. Totally blew it. Lost my voice for like 2 weeks. And was like, I shouldn't do that anymore.
Yeah.
But I kept doing it to the point where like, oh, now I'm able to do it without it hurting. There's all these videos on YouTube on like, this is how to scream correctly or whatever. And I'm like, I don't think I'm doing that, but I think I'm getting the same result without
Yeah.
straining anything.
Yeah.
So if it ain't broke, don't fix. But what I didn't say earlier, I meant to, is we recorded the drums for We Never Settled. All like we wrote the songs, and then one day randomly in Idaho, I was like, "Hey Nate, kick on that mic," and I just like started screaming on some of the songs, and like the guys downstairs were laughing because they're just hearing like all these god awful noises. They're like, "Is this what's happening?" But then when they come upstairs and we play it back, they're like, "Wait, this is sick." So there's like some not easy drum parts I wrote
Yeah.
that I'm now playing and screaming.
Yeah.
And on the live record, doing a lot of singing too. And I'm like, I didn't sign up for this. This is so hard. So I'm like relearning parts, rewriting parts, so that way they make sense to do. But in that, like, I would just, on that first tour, would just be like, hey, Red Jumpsuit, you should let me do this. Or I think it was with the opener first, Wildfires Projects. Sweet guys.
Yeah.
But they had a song with screams, and they just like, it wouldn't get that down.
Yeah.
So I was just like, what if it got that down? And they just let me scream on it to the point where the drummer of Red Jumpsuit was drumming for them. And he's,
cool.
my God, he's
Yeah.
such a sick dude. I freaking love him, dude. SB, shout out SB, you're sick. I have some off-camera stories about him. He's so cool. He's so cool. I would scream for that, and then he was just like, well, Red Jumpsuit needs some screams. Or like the
That's
bass
cool.
player would let me on, and it got to a point where like the singer Ronnie was just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was this one night where we were up towards San Francisco, and when you're kind of big, when you're well known, like you want some alone time or whatever. So I would never try to like hang out with them. It would always be like whenever they're ready. And I guess that's like tour etiquette too.
Yeah.
But But this one night, I was in the green room after our set. I'm drenched in sweat, just drenched.
When are you not?
True. So he like I'm stripping alone in there, and he comes in there, and like he's ignoring me for a few minutes, and I'm like self-conscious, like don't look at me.
Yeah.
But I finished getting ready, and then as I'm about to leave the green room, he's just like, "You're a really great drummer." And like if you guys don't know, Ronnie from Red Jumpsuit is a killer drummer. So like to hear that from like a childhood influence, you know, Red Jumpsuit was massive for me.
Yeah.
And like an actual drummer, and like he was just in there alone. Like I thought I was bothering him, and he took that time. He was like, "Here's my phone number. Call me if you ever want to work on anything." I can't call him. I don't know how to. I can't just be like, "Hey Ron, what's up?" You know?
Well, yeah.
I think that's the way. Yeah, can we call him right now?
Yeah. No.
I think that's
FaceTime him.
that's amazing, man.
Face
I
down
mean,
him.
That's definitely like, you know, something crazy to have in your back pocket. You know? I mean, somewhere down the line.
Well, every time I
really
get the
cool.
chance to hang out with their drummer SB, I tell him like I'm coming after your job.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's funny.
So to bring it back to Jeremy's question, like what was your favorite tour moment?
I think a very impactful moment was after we played San Francisco. It was like 3 a.m. And we were driving to like the next place. We were on the Golden Gate Bridge. It was super dark, but like the clouds were low.
Oh, I love
Like
it.
you
It's
can't
nice.
see
Yeah.
the top.
Yeah.
And Cove was driving, I was shotgun. And I think that was like the very first night that I got to like spend alone time with Cove. And like I grew up on Seosin, freaking
Yeah.
like that was a moment where I was just like, I don't even know what to talk to you about. Like, am I just bothering you? Is this weird? But we were just like listening to music, hanging out, and like I just remember looking out and like not even able to see like the top of the Golden Gate, and just like, this is life. That's insane.
Yeah.
Like that's so cool. I think my favorite moments though is just like talking to random people, like
Just before and after the shows?
Yeah,
Or,
like getting to hang out with strangers, but also like getting to be an encouragement to people.
Yeah.
It's always nice. Yeah, you don't get that too much.
Yeah,
You
like
are one of the most encouraging people I've ever met.
thank you.
You're like a hype man.
Yeah, because I mean, like life's too short, you know. So I just my all time favorite memories are just like having wild conversations with people I don't even know.
Yeah.
And just
Yeah.
like we're not gonna get too spiritual on this, but there's lots of people that are never gonna step foot in a church, rightfully so. The church has done some awful things. Really hard to trust nowadays, especially with like transparency being a bigger thing. I still believe that there's some good within it, and I think a part of that is not keeping that within the four walls of the church. So like these core tenets of just like grace and love and compassion, like spread that as far as you can, I think.
Which was always the goal, right? That was always the idea when it talks about go and make disciples of all nations. That's what they're talking about.
Salt and light of the earth.
Yeah, I think you probably got the right idea.
Yes.
I think that's really what it's supposed to be about.
So there was some conversations where it was like, there's no need to even like get spiritual about it. Just having that heart of worship. I don't know what you want to call it, but like God gave me this grace. I'm going to give it to other people.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Just in that, not trying to evangelize, not trying to preach, just being a real human to someone else.
Right.
Are you
And
trying to
just-
shove Jesus down my throat right now? I'm joking.
No comment. Like there's some people like to this day that I still know that I still keep in contact. Like I'm probably never going to see them again, but I do know that like that one conversation, that one moment in their life shifted them.
Yeah.
And like there were some people that were like, yeah, I'm thinking about killing myself. And like just in like that, sitting in that heavy, sitting in that real, was just like, hey, you're still seen, you're still heard. Like I'm a nobody. I am a nobody. I'll be the first person to admit that. But I love you.
Yeah.
Somehow that's enough.
Yeah.
Just imagine like the freaking creator of the universe saying that. I think that's true.
Yeah.
So getting to spread that, getting to be a beacon of hope and light and love and all those nice words, but actually doing it, that to me is so much cooler, so much more fulfilling than like meeting idols or like jamming out this insane music or getting to be a rock star. Like, all that's so cool.
Yeah.
But getting to love humans, best thing we could ever do.
Yeah.
John, your album title for We Never Settled is called Dissonance, a Violent Phrase.
Yeah.
What can our listeners listen? What streaming?
Where can we find your music?
Yeah, where can we stream your music?
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Spotify.
Spotify, Apple Music. I think we're on Deezer. I
On
think
what?
we're on Tidal. Deez nuts.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah. We put it on DistroKid. They just pushed it everywhere.
Do you guys have a second
Shout
one
out
coming out anytime
DistroKid.
soon?
We have a lot of demos that might never see the light of day.
That's okay. Michael Jackson and Tupac had a lot. And they're just barely coming out.
Yeah, I think a lot of the stuff we wrote for our second record is too, and this is probably a band conversation, but it's probably like too attached to like the first record.
Yeah.
So if we want to like grow in our musicianship or like experiment and like this is the stuff we're listening to now,
Yeah.
let's let that influence us. Now we'll either go back and rewrite a bunch or
Gotcha.
write new ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you
But-
can always release them down the line.
Yeah,
or there's no like limit to when you can release what. you know,
Right.
so it's-
So, Distance, a Violent Phrase, Spotify, Apple Music. I know it's on Apple Music because that's what I'm listening
Yeah, it's
to
everywhere.
it on. If you could recommend one song to our listeners and viewers, what song off of the album would you recommend?
Well, first, I would recommend listening to the album Front to Back. It is
Okay.
it is a full length record.
Please listen to all records front to back.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
well, a lot of people aren't doing that right now.
They're doing this thing
Yeah, I
where they
know.
put out singles
Yeah.
and then the album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not even that. A lot of people are just like intentionally just doing singles.
It's good
or
marketing.
EPs.
It's good marketing.
Music is digested so fast. Like it is not a good idea to put out large length music. Like we as a society,
Our attention spans are growing shorter.
we're doing the podcast thing, but for our content consumption, it's so much smaller.
Yeah.
So like we had a whole argument on like full length EP singles. What do we do? This record just needed to be a full length.
Yeah.
There is a story that we're telling front to back. It's heavy. It's real. It's personal. And if I throw you in any part of it that's not the last song, it's gonna feel really dark.
yeah.
That's not the ultimate message of the album. So I will say, like, if you want to get like your emo jollies off, listen to any song. I think the one that pops off the most is White Noise (parentheses Lost Cause). It's a really good one.
Which has a star next to it on Apple Music. That is one of the most popular songs.
Yeah, and it wasn't a single.
There you go.
So
Yeah.
it's actually, I think like next week it's gonna be the very first video we put out for our live album because we're like
Very
it's
cool.
gonna be the single
Yeah.
for
Cool.
the live. But that being said, with all like the emo heaviness of it, the very last lyric of the album is "You're worth it." Throughout all the journey that you're gonna go through listening to it, like it might feel personal, it might feel a little too real. The very last moment, and mind you, like we're not a Christian band. Like some of our guys like don't subscribe to that. And we still collectively agreed, like, this is the thesis of the whole thing.
Yeah.
You, the listener, this moment are not alone. Freaking shout out Seosin. You're worth it.
Yeah.
Like, that's as real as it can be,
Yeah.
I think. So, listen to whatever song you want, preferably White Noise,
White Noise, you guys.
but get to the end of the record. There's something
And
for
start
you
at
there.
the top.
Yeah, start at the
Right?
top. Just get to the end because there's something for you there, for anyone there.
That's good.
Should we let's wrap it up? Should we wrap it up with a clap?
Let's do it.
The clap?
Thanks
Not
for
the clap.
coming on our
Yeah,
podcast.
thank you, John.
Dude,
Yeah.
thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. This
Freaking love you, man.
You're the best
Freaking love you
person.
guys.
You're bad.
I feel honestly like there is so much still to talk about.
Well, we could have you again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This was fun.
we'll definitely have you
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. I'll see you guys in 2 years.
In 2 years.
Let's get through another COVID and then I'll get on again.
Not another COVID. Guys, go listen to We Never Settled, their album called Dissonance, A Violent Phrase. And also go follow our friend John on all of the social medias. We'll put his handles on the descriptions of everything and on YouTube.
Sure, yeah.
Let's clap it out, and we're gonna clap it out with hopefully we won't get flagged, but with a couple of seconds of white noise.
I don't see why not.
Yeah. All right. You wanna count us in like a good drummer?
So do you want 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3?
Let's
Dealer's choice.
Can we do 4 on the floor? Because I'm a little slow today.
I could do 4 on the floor. I just think your neighbors are gonna hate me.
Yeah. Count us in.
Okay. 4.
On 4.
No, on 1.
On whoa.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. How high are we going?
We can go high.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.